erinnerst du dich an uns schon? Das ist ein großer böser Bruder. Und wie ist der Plan, Dom?
Diesmal geht es nicht nur darum, schnell zu sein.
Wenn du diesen Dreckskerl in die Finger bekommst, tu mir einen Gefallen. Schieß nicht vorbei.
Fast and Furious 7 im Kino.
Yeah, sorry for the bumpy start. Yeah, we are online. I had probably broadcasted some of the advertising videos and stuff, but I'm glad that we're actually online. I had the kind of the trailer before the broadcast started because I wanted to check if we're really online. Yeah, the complicated thing is, which I wasn't able to really tell in the chat because it's just a little bit too tricky, is that the ICC account here for streaming is not just used by one guy, not just by me, but also by the other guys who are doing live shows. And this is not a typical password. It's a different technical device that is used. But let's get going and play some chess. Okie dokie, you see the remains of a bullet game that I played to warm up. Now, after sitting there for 30 minutes, I don't know what good it did, but going to start here with some 5-minute action. Let's see. Another thing that I maybe will do, we're going to see about that. Maybe I will play a couple of fun bullet games. Let's see. Okay, I'm going for 5 minutes here against the Blitz King. I hope that the video and I mean the whole window arrangement is fine. It was a bit screwed up after the simul that I did on Friday. It completely it made my whole desk very untidy. Okay, so here black was able to get in d7 to d5. Interesting. Yeah, so queen to b3 is the way to try to punish this possible weakness there on d5 and on b7. So queen b3 is the way to go. Let's see what he's doing. d5 and b7 is hanging. That's the only way to try to punish that. Let's see. Yes, that's exactly the idea. Someone writes that John Bartholomew is on ICC to play bullet. Maybe. I'm going to ask him for a couple of bullet games. He's a much better bullet player, so I'll probably get my butt handed to me. I think is an expression that sometimes used, but we're going to try for that. I'm going to ask John after this game if he is up for this. I guess he is, and he's the heavy favorite in this match if we do it. Okay, I can take a7, but this looks really greedy. To taking 2 pawns, but on the other hand I don't see why not. Is my queen trapped? I don't see it. Just grabbing the 2 pawns here. Yeah, I'm not intending to play an hour of bullet, but maybe briefly. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Am I disconnected or something? No, he is disconnected. Maybe he is. Let's check. No, his clock wasn't running. That was kind of irritating. But it seems to be okay now. Okay, bishop to b4. I'm not quite sure what this is doing. Okay, he wants to get in maybe a knight g4. And maybe trying to trap my queen again, but I don't see how. I don't see how really. Rook a8, there's still your queen b7. I'm definitely ready to return 1 pawn if he's getting too much pressure. Okay. Okay, I'm going to castle. Rook a8, I still have queen b7. And I also have the idea queen a6 to d3. Yeah, I don't really see his compensation for 2 pawns. He probably has some compensation for 1 pawn, but I'm not sure about 2. Let's see, queen a6, right? Trying to get back to d3. Yeah, queen to d3. I'm up the whole queen side, which is quite a lot. But what he always can do is take on c3 and demolish my pawn structure a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this is always an argument. Why is he giving me the bishop? Yeah, he just he just gave up by simply disconnecting. Yeah, I can just take the bishop, but he preferred to disconnect. Okay, I'm going for another 5-minute game. Yeah, there's a bit of a discussion about bullet chess. I have a very clear opinion about it. Bullet chess is something that you can play once in a while for let's say 20 minutes or so, and then it's okay. I don't really like to do it in any more than that. Sometimes I feel like, oh, let's just play some quick fun game and don't care so much about the quality, and then it's okay. But it's not something to be done like for hours. Yeah, some of my students sometimes ask me, should I play bullet? And I say, well, you shouldn't, but yeah, we all do once in a while, and if you don't overdo it, I don't see a big problem with that. So why not? Once in a while, it's certainly okay. Let's see. Yeah, I got a Queen's Indian, and he's playing. My opponent here, Mr. Serious, is playing a slowish setup here with bishop to f4. I wonder if c5 is a move here, or is d5 a reply? C5 looks normal. Looks kind of normal. Okay. I think this is probably the point of the whole thing, right? This thing. Okay, queen to f3. Funny. How do I play here? Yeah, my bishop. So kind of an unlucky spot here. Okay. I want to try to get the knight to c7. And trying to regroup. Knight. If I go to d7, this maybe. I'm sorry. Trying to prepare b5. My problem in this position is that the bishop on b7 is a totally ridiculous piece. Yeah, blitz chess. That's after I gave my opinion about bullet. There's a question about blitz. Yeah, I think blitz is something that can be used. It's close to decent chess sometimes, and it can be used to practice things. Especially you can practice your openings or let's say you can practice the middle games that come from your openings quite good in blitz. If you have some decent opposition, you will be able to check if you really know your stuff and know how to play things, especially if you have opponents that are on your skill level. No, I don't agree, Mercury. Blitz and bullet is not the same thing. 5 minutes is entirely different to 1 minute, where you really have to pre-move and be super quick to stand any kind of chance. And in blitz, it's simply more time available. Yeah, the Queen's Indian is somewhat less popular nowadays, but it's not because it's in any problem or so. It's just that other openings or other lines have gotten somewhat more exposure recently, but there is no theoretical problem at all with the Queen's Indian. Okay, I was thinking that I can go here, but he might take d6. I'm not quite sure, but I don't really have an alternative here. I'm attacking d2. Okay, so he plays it in a more simple fashion. Okay, so he went to d4. Yes, c6 and f5. So I'm going to try to regroup here. He can go knight c6, but I'm not sure how bad this really is. I want to cover all this. Yeah, the knight on c7 certainly can be improved. I wonder how. Okay, he wants to try to play f4. Okay, so maybe here f4, knight g6. He might have e5, but here I'm also attacking d4. So after f4, there's maybe knight d3 available. I can still play knight d3, but let's do this, trying to prevent f4. Trying to prevent f4. If my knight on c7 would be better and not just completely off, it would be probably quite okay for me, this position. At least playable. Okay, I'm going to push here. Trying to make some use of my pieces here. The knight might come to b5. It's not so clear where his knight is going, actually. This is interesting. Knight b1, b3 is a trap of the bishop. And takes, well, where are you going? Knight a2, b3. Yes, he has to fire. Yeah, there is no way to play with standard moves. Okay, so if I'm taking, he's going to do what? Knight e4. I have the check on b6. I did not plan that, but I have it. It's kind of fun. Yeah, we have a Benoni structure. The Benoni is full of little awkward tricks. Awkward for white, I mean. Okay. So I can take there. Yeah, why not? Why not, actually? Or knight f4. That's also an interesting move. Let's do that. I still have the queen b6 idea. And I can take d5, possibly. Wow. Very irritating for white, all this. Yep. Check. So I can take d5 if I like, but knight f4... very, very tricky business. b3, I can also take there. Or bishop f5. I like bishop f5 somehow. Getting my bishop out from d7. Yeah, I thought knight e6 is good, but then knight f6 is hitting me. Okay. I overlooked that move. That knight f6 is now threatened. I really overlooked. Awkward. Okay, then I have to jump in there. Not much I can do. Down to 118. Okay, time to really focus hard here. It will be very tricky now. Maybe I'm okay here. Maybe I'm okay. I can take e2 now, probably. And rook d8, just trying to get the pawn. Yeah, if I take there, is this possible? I'm kind of, it's all a bit coincidental, but I think it's working. Somehow things are still okay. What is this? And then he has got the check. Okay, let's go here. It just took me too much time. I got a yeah, I got a winning endgame now. This is fun. Threatening g6. Let's bring the bring the king up. So maybe stop his king there for the moment and then promote stuff. Yeah, just blocking things, and I will promote the pawns. I hope. My time. My time. Yeah, the thing is that I have a ton of pawns here. Going with the king all the way to c1. I'm not sure that this was the best technical play ever, but I think it was enough. Yep. Okay, I will do that in 9 seconds. I really will. Yeah, that was a weird game. That was a weird game. Yeah, there is no increment in the pool, but it's okay. 5-0 is okay. I'm going to go for more 5-0 games. I did not play any games today. I'm looking for questions. Are there any questions? There's a question here. I have a problem with my pawn movement to take, push, or keep tension. Do you have some general advice on that matter? Not really. Not really. It all depends on the concrete position, what is right. In general, however, if you look at the majority of games, it's more often you see people giving up on the tension too early. They trade too much and they play too simplistic. Very often, it's better to keep more tension on the board. But chess is a very concrete game and it depends very much on the particular position. Okay, we have a game here against Fighting Dragon. It's a German flag. Let's see if I know this guy. Let's see. Christian Köpke. Yeah, that's an IM from Germany. But no player I know. I mean, like in person. I know the name, but never met him or played him. Okay, he played delayed capture on c6. This is interesting. It's kind of similar to what Carlsen sometimes played. This delayed capture on c6 in the Berlin. Not sure how this relates, but I'm just going to do normal things. Going for the fianchetto here to improve the bishop a little bit. Maybe on a very good day I'll manage f5. Okay, that has to be a very good day, but it might work. I never really understood very much what the point of this capture is on c6 in this kind of situation. Of course, the pawn structure is somewhat black's pawn structure is somewhat shaken, but it's not, it doesn't feel like a huge issue. I'm aware that in Carlsen's case from the Berlin, it's a somewhat different position, but still it feels, in this case, I don't really get it, to be honest. Let's see, what am I doing here? I can play queen here, always like that, disturbing move. G3, queen h3. And I also might have bishop to h6. Yeah, let's go bishop h6 and ask him about this pawn on g4. White can go knight to d5, maybe, threatening knight f6 check. This question, what do I think about table bases? Should you learn this stuff? No. I mean, table bases are for reference purposes. It can be an idea to use table bases for learning theoretical endgames, or let's say practicing. Learning is wrong. Practicing them. For example, if you want to look at rook and pawn against a single rook, where the table base is playing absolutely perfectly, there it does make some sense to maybe play against the computer. What is this guy doing here? Okay, he can take on d5. I understand, yeah. Or bishop h6. It both comes into consideration. Yeah, I can take c1. This was my original intention. Yeah, let's do that. It's probably simple and not so bad. Rook e4 might come. Okay, let's put this here. I'm not totally sure what I should do. I can play for f5. I'm going out of a possible tempo here with g3, and playing rook f8, f5 is an idea. My a6 pawn is kind of on its own. Yeah, I'm asked for an example of a bluff in chess. I'm not sure if there's something like a bluff in chess. There is this thing, but it's not so easy to put a concrete example out. I can give you one example actually. Some time ago, it's maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I was playing in the Belgium league, and in the Belgium league, you have a hard time to predict your opponent. You know you play a certain team, but you rarely can tell who you're playing. And it happened that I arrived at the place, and it turned out that I had to play a grandmaster. I'm not going to tell you the name. It was a grandmaster about 2,500 rating, and it is funny. He played in the opposing team, obviously, and he was a teammate in my Dutch team. So it was funny that I actually knew him a little bit, and I knew that he's an e4 player, of course, and he played e4, but I knew that normally it's not that he plays the Italian game or the Scotch opening. He does not play the Ruy Lopez. And then we started our game, and he played the Ruy Lopez. And I was thinking, okay, why is he playing the Ruy Lopez? What is the idea behind that if he's never playing it? And I was thinking, okay, what can I do now? I could play my usual stuff, yeah, like a Chigorin, but at the time I looked a little bit at the Schliemann gambit, the Danish gambit with 3f5, and I had this hunch that he was playing the Ruy just to play against one of my slowish lines. So I played the Schliemann, and I did not really know much about it, but I sort of, yeah, it was a bluff in a way, because I thought, okay, he's an expert on some other opening, and he won't know the Schliemann in such detail. And it turned out I was right. He of course knew something, but I had no problem out of the opening. I actually had a very nice position, and so this bluff kind of worked out. I don't know what would have happened if I played a slowish line. This way I got a decent position, and this surprise worked. but it was kind of a bluff. If for some reason he, yeah, let's say he had, without me knowing, he had some detailed knowledge about the opening, the Schliemann gambit, maybe I would have been in trouble. I don't know. It was a kind of a bluff. This is maybe a little example of a bluff in chess, but it's not happening that often. I'm wondering if I'm playing this right here. Probably not, huh? I'm playing this kind of weird. C5? Maybe I'm still okay here, but while I'm telling this story, or while I was telling the story, I played this endgame. I'm not sure if I played it well. I don't want king e4 to happen, so maybe I can push the h pawn. I can go to c7. That's not going to work. I'm not sure if c4 does win. But what else? What else? I can go... I cannot really move the pawns. I mean, I can play king e6, d7, whatever. Okay, I'm pushing here. I have to play a move at some point. I was thinking rook d6. He can actually play rook h6. That was a bit stupid. It's probably going to end in a draw. Here's rook h6. Yeah. Okay, I can try this and keep this pawn for the moment, but he has king e4. Yes, exactly. It's a draw. What can you do? It's just a draw. What did I do here? That's kind of unnecessary. Why did I get into this endgame? Okay. Yeah, it's still a draw, of course, but that was really unnecessary. I only have 6 seconds here. Blah. That sucks. Yeah, I played this so terribly. Oh, come on. How idiotic was that? From a better endgame to lose. Oh. Wow. Wow. Now I relaxed too early there and thinking it's just a draw. Yeah, losing is kind of sick here. But okay, let's get to the next game. Okay, well, this is a high-rated guy, Mishuk DL, 2520. Let's see what he's going to do. Got a Grünfeld, okay. Yeah, bishop b6. That's an interesting line, one of the better lines in this variation. Let's see what he's going to play. Bishop c8 is even a move. Yes. Yeah, he knows his theory here. Okay, bishop e2, and black is going for e5. That bishop e6 move is quite good. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to take on e5 twice. This line is very decent for black. Black has very good equalizing chances here. Okay, so I'm going queen d4, I guess. I can cover the pawn here with b4. Yeah, okay, this game, it was an example why increment does make some sense. That's true, but yeah, maybe ICC is going to introduce an increment pool after all. Of course, I should never lose the game anyhow. It was purely my own fault there. Okay, so we have this endgame here, which is about equal, I guess. Black maybe has knight e6 to attack d4. Okay, going to try to trade on the e file. A minor piece endgame is quite okay for me. Let's do this. I would also like to trade my d3 bishop against the knight, but I'm not going to be able to probably. Okay, maybe b5. Is this a move? Maybe. The problem is that he might take and play rook a3, which is kind of awkward. Okay, I'm going to try that. It's a bit tricky. I think I'm going to get this back. Ah, yeah, interesting move. So I'm taking bishop takes. Okay. Very interesting move here, and then I have a4 and rook b. I still have rook b3 even. So it's not a problem or anything. It's not a deadly pin or something like that. Let's do this, right? a4 I can even take, I think, if I'm not wrong. Okay, and here bishop a4 was my idea. Takes, rook takes, should be about equal. And it's about equal, this position. Yeah, knight c3. I can take there, or bishop d5. Yeah, bishop d5 is the normal move. It seems to be just equal. Yeah, taking doesn't make much sense. I can approach here. I'm going to offer a draw. Maybe he takes it. It's really not much going on here. Okay, he's continuing. If I'm going to e3 as knight c2 check, that might be one idea that he's still entertaining. I can go back here on knight d5. I cannot trap the knight, unfortunately. I would like to play for a knight trap there, but it's not going to work. Tja. Trying to fix some of his pawns on light squares. Maybe here. I don't know. It's just nothing going on. I intended to give this check, but it's a kind of a stupid idea. Just have to settle for this. Okay, he's going for king d5, maybe. Yeah, hey, it's still nothing going on, I think. Okay, let's push. Yeah, 3 minutes and 2 second increment is just a far better time control than 5-0. And people who argue otherwise, I don't take very much seriously. It just increases the quality of the games so much that there's no argument really. The only argument is maybe for spectators. 5-0 is quite spectacular, but the quality of the games is just far better with increment. Okay, takes. Going to take king e3. I think it's just a draw, right? I wonder if I go here. Yeah, I really, there's no winning idea. Check. I can check there. He's got a4. f4, king d3, king d5, a4 is the move. And f4, I'm going a4. He has to go king e5. I think it's just a draw. This is just a draw. Don't see any way for him to do something here. Yeah, and draw. Yeah, I think it's okay result, not to do. Oops. No, I unfortunately clicked on 15 minute. Okay, I'm trying to abort that. It's really too long. They agreed to a draw. gifting some points. Okay, I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, the quality of the game in 3+2 is higher because the games are actually played out to the end. And this means that also there are sometimes situations in 5-0 or other non-increment time controls where one side knows he's going to win on time. And then they are not really, they don't need to prove anything anymore. They can play any crap, to be quite frank. And this is simply not possible in increment time controls. They have to play well until the end of the game. And sometimes you really notice that people, well, they don't even want to play chess anymore. If they see, okay, I'm going to win on time, they just play nonsensical moves all the time. And this is not going to happen in an increment time control. Okay, I'm going to try to just win the g4 pawn here. I know it's kind of a funny looking idea, but I'm attacking this pawn and I don't see how he's going to protect it. He cannot play the f pawn because of the a7 bishop. It's kind of funny, this opening. I don't have anything to drink here. Yeah, a 10-minute game is okay. Yeah, it's just longer, but you will still encounter this weird situations at the end. Yeah, it's simply, I mean, especially if you have the technical equipment to play with an increment, it's always preferable for terms of quality of the games. Just like that. The only other thing that is quite interesting, actually, but this is kind of uncommon in international chess, is this concept of a delay that is sometimes used in American tournaments, where they don't accumulate the time, but they get like a certain number of seconds per move that is not accumulated. This is also, I think, a very interesting idea, because people sometimes argue with some kind of justification that with increment you can just shuffle around sometimes to gain time on the clock and use the time later. Yeah, and sometimes this leads to kind of nonsensical shuffling just to gain time. This is not happening with the delay as well. So this makes some sense as well. Yeah, I'm going with my knight, trying to get to my knight to g6. I'm hoping to succeed in this task. Why didn't I play g4 for the piece? I can give the check. I can give the check. Still, I should have considered that. Okay, I'm going for rook f7, trying to be quick here. Okay, so preventing d5. Yeah, the delay concept is not bad. I think I like it actually. And in tournament chess, I think there are various time controls, of course. Oh wait, still d5 takes knight d4 check, king e7. That's kind of funky. I can start with g4 though. It's not ideal. But I can go here, right? This is my... I just want to trade one rook. Don't want anything more. Yeah, and here I'm going to d7. Yeah, so he tries to keep the rook on the 7th, probably with success. Huh, so what am I doing now? I have to take, yeah? Okay, he doesn't have a clear way to activate. Maybe I can actually move the king and then take the pawn on d5. That could be an interesting way to play. I want to isolate this pawn so that c4 is not possible. Yes, so f5, I guess, preventing knight to e4. c4. If I go back to d8, he might play c5. I don't know. Mercury, what is this thing with in a 3-2 game can do 1000 moves and I can only do 40? If you can only play 40 moves in a game with 2-second increment, you have a serious problem. It's not about Nakamura, it's about you. With a 2-second increment, you can make an infinite number of moves and not just 40. Even with a 1-second increment, you can do a hell of a lot of moves. And the important thing is you can also draw the endgames and win the simple one endgames. This is the most important thing about it. Okay, going e4 or not. I can give this check. Let's give the check. Let's see. Okay, if I go e4, probably knight e5, and I cannot take d6. I mean, I can just take d6. Probably I should. I just took the pawn here, and I'm 1 minute up on the clock. It's kind of good news. So let's see. I can give this check, and then rook f1 maybe. He's got knight f7 and the capture. This is a bit awkward. I wonder. I can go g4. It's got rook f7 though. Yeah, maybe do it like that. I'm not totally sure here about the best technical way to play. Knight g5. If I take there, it's awkward. But I can attack f2 and b2. My rook is now the more active piece. This is what I'm hoping for. That I can get both the f pawn and the b pawn. He's letting the clock run down quite a bit. Okay. He's going for knight c7 and knight c5 probably. I can give the check here. Keep stuff for the moment. Again a check, or I can take b2, knight c7. Knight c7, I have knight c5. Can cover. Then he can take a6. It's a bit awkward. Okay. I didn't see that move. That's not good. And now for what? Knight e6. I have king d5 though. That's 2 pawns. Okay. Yeah, okay. Going to win that one. Hui, that was tricky. Yeah, I'm going to stream for a while. I mean, we had a bit of a late start, so going to play. Let's do it like that. I'm going to play a couple of more blitz games, but we might go for something quick later. Maybe I can ask John Bartholomew if he's up for some 1+1. This is a fun time control that I totally like. 1 minute and 1 second increment. It's not very often played, but it's the kind of bullet that I really like. I'm going to try. Going to negotiate to play, but he's idling a bit. Maybe he's busy with something else, but I'm going to try. My keyboard, I've got a mechanical cherry keyboard. I know it's kind of noisy, but I like it. Yeah, John's not answering me. Maybe he's busy. It's possible, but I put out a message to him, so maybe we get to see a match. Okay, I'm going to play another 5-minute game. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay tonight, scoring, I mean, about 50% against my rating peers. What are my thoughts on multicast? I don't know. He's obviously a very, very strong player, but he plays kind of funky funky openings and some funny ideas sometimes. It's hard to tell. I mean, there are those rumors that it is Magnus Carlsen. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's always fun to speculate. If you, I mean, I've been on the ICC since 1998, which is quite a while, like 17 years. It sounds like an eternity. And there have been those guys coming and going, rumored who it is, and there's anonymous accounts that are super strong, and there was wild guesses and so on. You never know who is who. I think there's also, or there are definitely some accounts that are shared. Yeah, like there's a couple of players playing on the account. Okay, so I have a Rui Lopez as black in exchange Rui, with a funny line here that I sometimes play. It is kind of unusual, but I think quite okay for black. I got a request to play a Sicilian dragon. I have absolutely no knowledge about the dragon. It's difficult for me to play. Okay, but I'm glad about this here. I have the 2 bishops for no particular compensation. And now it is quite okay now already. I think what he played wasn't very critical. So I have the 2 bishops, and white doesn't have much to show for it. Maybe knight g5 now, trying to get rid of 1 bishop. No, he didn't do that. Let's see, how am I going to play? I'm going to play f6 g5 maybe, or how am I going to do this? Of course, white is still quite okay. White is still quite okay. Oh, sorry, a6 is hanging. I have to attend to that, so put it back where? f7 maybe. Yeah, account sharing is actually prohibited on the ICC, but it still happens. I mean, I never did that, but it happens that some players share accounts. There's a question: do you think positional players are less affected by age than tactical players? Here there's someone saying that he feels that at 34 his tactics are not what they used to be. Yeah, but this is kind of normal. you simply with age you tend to make more tactical mistakes. It's just normal. I'm 40, and I know that I definitely were a bit fresher when I was in my 20s or so. Also, physical fitness helps quite a lot. Not just a matter of age. I mean, you can, if you are a very physically fit person, you certainly can compensate for things. Yeah, I know that all this moving back looks weird, but what I'm doing here, I'm preserving my 2 bishops for later. So, and I'm going to try to get yet another bishop. What is he doing here? I don't get it. He wants to go to e6. I see. Yeah. Don't want to trade. I mean, okay, maybe I could have taken, but trying to say that the pawn on c5 is weak. Maybe. Okay, I'm going back. Again, he's moving there. I want to cover e6. How do I do that? I can play rook d6. Looks a bit awkward, but I don't want knight e6. Okay, I'm going to push the knight back. Knight a6, king b7 is a knight trap, so he has to go back. And now, how am I going to play? I don't quite know how to develop here. Maybe I can go rook to d5, actually, intending a5. That's an interesting idea. I like that very much. My bishops are used on their initial squares. This is very neat. I like that. And I overlooked this move, unfortunately. Wow, okay. I wonder, do I have some more active move than just dropping back? Rook f5 maybe, but that's kind of weird. That's a weird move. Again, I overlooked a simple move. What am I doing here? Come on, it was just a nice. It was such a nice position. I really was a lot better with my two bishops, and now I have to give up stupid material here. What a shame. What a shame. I totally screwed this up. I don't know why he's giving me this here, and he's giving me the exchange. Wow. Okay, that's a weird turn of events. Yes, this looks active, but really, is this so great? I'm going to push now. Let's push pawns. What a weird game. So what am I going to do here? Bishop e8, rook here. That's awkward. Yeah, yes, some attacking ideas here with the rook on a3. Okay, I probably have to do that for rook a8. Awkward, but necessary, I guess. What is this? This is equal material, right? After all this blundering. Funny. Funny. Okay. I can attack here on b5 and trade b against d pawn. This should actually be quite good for black. I mean, not like winning or so, but quite nice. My king is active. It's more active than his king. Can try to go up here. Yeah, it's probably a draw. It's probably a draw. Any way to try to play for a win here? Probably not. That was... What? Why is he going back? That's strange. Why would you go back? Huh. Okay. I'm trying to win this game, which is kind of funny, but I'm trying. It's just that the knight is somewhat tricky, yeah? Okay, going to try to run to the pawns. If he trades, he's in Zugzwang. Okay, so he can just stay now, unless I'm taking the knight. Okay, that game was really bad. It was really bad. But okay, you have to win those wins, those games as well. It is. It took me a while to see that the knight was really up for grabs. Wow. Okay, it's okay. I'm having a good score here. Yeah, we are on for about an hour now, but we'll continue a little bit. This late start was really awkward. Yeah, I didn't see that as well. He should have gone to a4 or something, and then it's really questionable what I did. I actually should have taken on g5. Maybe it still is a draw. Okay, do I get a new game here? A new 5-minute game? No, I'm trying to contact John Bartholomew, but he's idling, so he's still locked on the ICC, but maybe doing something. It happens to me all the time. I log on, then I know I'm off cooking, which could actually be the case at where he's at. It's about dinner time. Yeah, 1+1 is a funny time control. This is actually something that I like to play. It's super quick, but you still manage to play some decent games once in a while. No, I played this quite a bit some years ago. It was really funny that in in 1 week I had a bishop and knight mate 2 times. Once I was mating with the 1 second increment, and the other time I was mated. Both times the mate was performed successfully. Okay, I'm playing Abdul Qadir from Azerbaijan. At least it's an Azerbaijani flag. And we have a somewhat rare line here in the Slav with queen b3 and queen b6. I'm trying to get b4, b5 in quickly. Yes, he's fighting that with this move. Okay, I'm going for bishop f4. This is good anyway, I guess, getting this bishop out. Maybe here black can try something like f6. Oh, he's taking. That is surprising. Okay. Yeah, he can move the rook now. I'm threatening b5 here, which he ignores. Why? Isn't this good? Okay. I can utilize this pinning situation. I'm kind of surprised that he allowed that. That's a well-known favorable transformation. I'm threatening knight e5 and all kinds of awkward things. Okay, if I'm taking now, knight e5 check, king e8 back. I cannot play rook b1 because of... But I can prepare that. Okay, the alternative is to play bishop a4 and just stay there for knight e5. There's maybe f6. Interesting. I think I'm okay if I just take and then play g4. I want to play rook b1 at the end, and I don't see how he defends against that, really. Rook b1 at the end on the b pawn will be difficult. Like bishop g6, I take rook b1 and he cannot defend the b pawn. It looks quite strong. If he goes f6, I take f5, fe bishop takes, and again I'm threatening that. It looks That looks kind of problematic. Bishop e4, f3, it doesn't look good. I was really surprised that he allowed b5 in this position. Here after e3 I expected rook c8 to prevent this, but didn't happen. Yeah, I do sometimes resign positions. Yeah, if they feel like if they are completely lost, and I felt I think if I think in this position, if I have, what did he do? Oh, he resigned. Okay, yeah, b7 is gone. In a situation where I think that the opponent would win easily with an increment. I mean easily with an increment, I would resign. Bishop and knight mate, I would not resign, because simple up to grandmasters people fail with that. But like queen up or so, I would resign. And it also sometimes, I mean, I try to don't really have to care about it because of the increment. Okay, opponent wants to abort the game. Don't know why exactly, but I don't mind. Okay, let's see if I get new game. And it also depends a little bit on how the game went. Yeah, I mean, if I'm like winning completely the whole game or so, and then I make a mistake and I'm about to win on time, I probably just take the time win. I don't know. It's a very difficult situation. It's much simpler. It's just much simpler if you give people an increment, because then it is just it's just pure chess skill. It's not about any kind of etiquette. It just played out to the end. Yeah, increment is just promoting playing chess and not hitting the clock or making any funny mouse statistics. Okay, playing black against Drohachik. I got a request to play the dragon. Okay, I would have played the dragon, but okay. Instead, I get the Smith-Mora gambit. Okay, I'm going to play in a very classical fashion here. This setup that was recently recommended by Jan Gustafsson in one of his video series, and yeah, I like that. It's a simple setup. White definitely has a compensation, but it's totally playable for black as well. Going to take. Yeah, people are making fun in the chat of former women world champion Anna Ushinina because she failed with the bishop and knight checkmate. Yeah, I understand it is kind of embarrassing that this happened, but I don't know. The thing is, you can make fun of that, but the problem is simply that even with the increment, there are still human beings playing, and if you're nervous and you have to, yeah, everybody's watching you and so on. There are very strange things happening in this case, or under those circumstances, and yeah, I don't really like to make fun out of people because they fail with those kind of things. It is difficult sometimes to have the presence of mind after 4 or 5 hours of play. I know that I've done my fair share of totally ridiculous stuff after a long game has been played. So I'm not going to ridicule people there. I've made my fair share of stupid stuff. I mean, not exactly this endgame, which is fairly easy, but it happens. Yeah? It simply happens. Okay, so he's going for this compensation there. I think I have to take there finally. It looks kind of dangerous now. I'm attacking b2 and e3. It looks like a good counterplay. Yeah, I mean, for example, recently I played a game in the Dutch league where the computer afterwards gave me an advantage of +14. +14. I wasn't a queen up, but the advantage that I could get with a fairly simple move was really, really big. And after 4.5 hours, I simply couldn't bring up any kind of concentration and played really badly. At the end, I only managed to get a draw, and it was very simple actually. I even saw the winning idea, but I simply couldn't calculate after those 5 hours. I don't know what it was. It's not like I'm too stupid to win. It's just kind of strange what sometimes happens. Yeah, while we were chatting, I think I have a very good position here. And I think I can actually take on b2 here, because I'm threatening queen h2 and I'm threatening the rook. And he's in the pin. I think this is kind of winning, I hope. Yeah, so how am I actually winning? I can give this check here and take h4. Maybe this is a way to do it. Knight h2 mate. Fork. Fork. Yeah, and I'm kind of, I don't know, a ton of pawns up. How much? 3 pawns. That's quite good. Let's see. Okay, going to check again. Can check here, but what is it leading to? Does it lead to anything? Maybe just go back here for d5 or so, and the queen coming over. Queen a2 would blunder the queen. That's not a good idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm playing this in a bit of a too relaxed fashion here. How do I actually win? Rook c8 for queen c2 mate. That's a good move. Queen c2 checkmate. Threatening mate is often a good idea. Okay, d5, yes. Bishop d5, queen c2 mate. Pawn takes e4, wins the queen. That should win it. That does win it. Yeah, you should never underestimate what's happening in a long game, right? It's simply fatigue and nerves that kick in, and yeah, there have been so many weird things happening. Let's do this. For example, in a team match recently, we had a situation where it was even after 7 boards were finished. It was an even score. There was just one game going, and there were 2 international masters playing. And the one international master, he wanted to avoid the draw, and he managed to avoid the draw, but he just ran into a checkmate in one move, just a one move checkmate. And this is something that would never happen to him if it was at the beginning of the game, yeah, not at the end of the game. It was just fatigue kicking in, and yeah, it's just a different situation than at the start. Okay, going for 1 or 2 more games. This is late start. I guess you deserve some kind of compensation. I'm playing quite well here, gaining points. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm playing well, but at least I'm playing successfully. Okay, I'm requesting a new game. Yes, there's a famous game, Arnand with white against Ivanchuk, where Ivanchuk could mate in 1 move, but did not see it. He simply was he was having I don't know, a brain slip, or however you may call it. He simply did not see the mate in 1. Yeah, I'm requesting a game, but don't get one. Probably not that much going on in this on the server right now. I can play a 3-minute game for a change. Okay, I got a 3-minute game. Maybe we get a game that way. Okay, this is 3-minute chess against Gambit Destroyer. Let's see what he's coming up with. We have a mainline classical Nimzo. Okay. I did not know that this is a line actually. This bishop a6. Maybe 97 c5 is kind of, yeah. That might be an idea. Black is quite well developed here with the future capture on d4. Yeah, spending yet another move with the queen here, which is not ideal. But I did not see what else to do. Yeah, 3-minute is a bit quick for my taste when it comes to in commentary. I'm not hopeless at this time. I don't play it often, but it is for commentary. It's a bit quick. Okay, knight to f6. Okay, I'm going to cover e2 here. Trying to get my development somehow completed. Maybe knight e3 to come. Yeah, he's very nicely developed here. He's got this is his compensation for the bishop pair that I have. I'm now threatening bishop d5, knight d5, queen d5, winning a piece. So yeah, he's doing something against it. Okay, so I'm going here, attacking his bishop. This bishop doesn't have a clear way to go. Where is he going with this piece? That's funny. I don't know where this is going to go. It just drops the bishop. It's funny, right? It's just funny. Okay, I'm trying to get another 5-minute game going. Yeah, I didn't even see that this bishop was trapped. I only saw it after I played queen a4. He basically killed himself there. Okay, I'm trying maybe another 3-minute game. Kind of strange that I don't get a 5-minute game. I think there is a bit of action going on in the 1 middle pool actually. Wow, I don't get a game in the 3-minute and the 5-minute pool. What is this? This is unheard of. It's kind of funny. Okay, what time is it? It's 15 minutes to midnight. I did not read all the books in the back, and I mean, there's more. It's quite nice. I don't get a game. I simply don't get a game. I can try to ask. No, I got a 3-minute game now. Okay, maybe play e4 for a change. And then open Sicilian. I think I'm going to stop at midnight. Yeah, this is all chess books. I also had a ton of non-chess books, of course, but I sold almost all of it, trying to get some space, let's say, and yeah, I mean, they are just collecting dirt over the years, and dust. Dirt is the wrong word. Dust. So what I'm going to do here, I've got an open Sicilian, not my usual kind of opening. But let's see, can I go g4? Let's do g4, g5. That's the only kind of plan that I know in the Sicilian. So let's get going. Okay, okay, 97. He's still fairly solid here, right? I don't really have an attack here, I think. It looks, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with e4 position, so it's always, or not always, but sometimes a bit of a struggle for me. h4 maybe. Here's b4. Yeah, b4 looks kind of good. Oh, he doesn't do it. b4, knight e4 maybe. Yeah, here at least I have an idea, like bishop e5, knight e4, knight f6. No, I did not expect, but probably not bad. Just attacks my bishop, and he's attacking h4. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't look good to trade with playing against the bishop pair, but I didn't see an alternative. I already gave away tons of my chess books to my chess club, so no giveaway planned in the near future. Yeah, there's a question about the popularity of 1d4 compared to 1e4. Yes, it's definitely the case that at the moment d4 is gaining in popularity in top level chess, and yeah, with very good reason. The especially e4, e5, and especially the Berlin defense in the Ruy Lopez and the Marshall attack, they are both holding up excellently well. So white is sometimes, as Peter Swidler sometimes says quite funnily, 1d4 is the ultimate anti-Berlin, and yeah, this is really the case. It's not so much that the top level GMs believe that d4 is much better or anything. It's just that they don't really see much that they can do against those two problem openings, the Marshall and the Berlin. And I'm kind of surprised that he took on c5. This can only be better for me now, at least a little bit, with the pawn. It's easier to draw with 1d4, someone writes. Now that's exactly wrong. It's much easier to draw with 1e4. 1e4 has many more forced drawing lines, and d4 not so much. in a situation where you desperately need a draw, it's really the better choice to play to play e4. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen here. Trying to win the pawn there, the b pawn. Not sure what he's doing. Okay, can pressurize the h7 pawn here. Okay, prevent rook a4, and then taking the h pawn. Oh, it looks nice. Okay, let's push it down the board. Oh, I didn't even see that. Huh. Okay. Okay, let's take. Okay, how do you prevent the promotion now? I don't think you can, right? Okay. Yeah, it's not really difficult, but it's still some moves that I need to play to promote the f-pawn, so he's continuing. Oh, but okay, it ultimately didn't take that long. Yep, so I got him at the end. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up after the next game. Just going for one more game, and then it's midnight. Okay, playing Scott Lander, a grandmaster here with an US flag, but he's not playing, and now he is playing. 1d4. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to play my usual Nimzo. Okay, we're going to get a sharp position here. Oh, I keep forgetting this line. All right, let's see. Knight c7 or knight d7. I always forgetting that. But okay, we're going to see. What is my favorite book of my chess books? That's difficult to tell. There are many good books around. What I very much like is a book that is not containing much chess actually, but it is still great fun to read. It's the collection of Jan-Hein Donner's articles called The King. It's a great book about chess, and Donner was quite a character. I'm also quite relaxed here with a 3-minute time control. I'm spending tons of time. This is probably a mistake actually, but I'm kind of trouble to remember this line. Okay, I have to take now probably and go here. I wonder if he can sacrifice on h7, something like that. This whole what I played here is very dangerous for black. Rook comes to d6. Yeah. I remembered that this is very dangerous, but I had to play a move ultimately. Yeah, if I take knight g5 is coming. Yes. Take. And then he's got the check here. Okay, I'm not going to survive this, probably. He's got knight g5 and all kinds of things happening. Nah, that opening is not really very forgiving if you make a mistake. It is quite a good line, actually. But as mentioned, you cannot afford any inaccurate moves. I actually have no square for the queen. Okay, I can go to c8, but he's going to mate me. Queen h4, knight g5. And then I've got rook e5. Okay. Yeah. Queen h7. Yeah, okay, I'm going to allow him to play that out. Yeah, look, that's quite funny. I can yeah, rook f7 is also mate. Okay, I'm going to resign. Now I played that nicely. I screwed up this opening. This is a line that I have examined, but I could not remember the precise moves here. It's difficult when you are in a 3-minute game situation. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm not going to start a new game. We were online about 1.5 hours finally. I think it was just fair to stream a little bit longer after the very delayed start of the broadcast. Yeah, I hope you liked the games. I think it was good fun. Maybe next time we can arrange for some 1+1 bullet action. It wasn't happening tonight. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. I'm back next week. Thanks for watching.